Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're cutting straight to the chase on something really critical for anyone involved with web applications. We're talking about ensuring your online presence looks and functions flawlessly, no matter what device or browser someone's using. Getting rid of those frustrating, wonky layouts on mobile or, say, broken buttons on some obscure browser.
Exactly. Those little things can be incredibly annoying for users.
Absolutely. So our mission today is simple. Give you a genuine shortcut to being well-informed about the very best free cross-browser testing tools out there in 2025. We've sifted through a really thorough review, comparing different options so you can understand not just what each tool offers, but crucially, why it might be the right one for you.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is looking at how browser diversity, just the sheer number of them, has historically made front-end consistency such a headache. So we'll be digging into tools specifically designed to tackle those UI inconsistencies, validate code, make sure everything's responsive, across the big ones like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, but also all those different mobile and tablet types. We've really distilled the key insights from a pretty comprehensive evaluation.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. Before we jump into the specific tools, maybe define cross-browser testing for us. And, why is it such a big deal for developers and businesses alike?
Right. So cross-browser testing, at its core, it's basically about checking that your web application works correctly across, everything. Different operating systems, different browser versions, different devices, desktops, mobiles, tablets, all of it. It's essentially quality assurance. Making sure you catch those UI glitches, validating the code actually does what it's supposed to do, and confirming your design adapts properly.
Yeah.
Responsive design, right? And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it's fundamental for a consistent user experience. Doesn't matter what device they're on, it should just work. That directly impacts, satisfaction, brand reputation.
Yeah, absolutely critical. Now, you mentioned this deep dive is built on an extensive review. Can you give us a sense of how these tools were picked? What were the evaluation criteria?
Good question. It definitely raises the credibility point. These tools weren't just, chosen randomly. They came out of over 80 hours of reviewing more than 26 different cross-browser testing tools.
Yeah.
So quite intensive. And the evaluation really zeroed in on 6 key things.
Okay.
First, compatibility range. Does it support the browsers and operating systems people actually use? The popular ones, older ones too. Second, ease of integration. How easily does it plug into, say, a CI/CD pipeline for automated testing? That's huge nowadays.
Right.
Third, user experience. Is the tool itself easy to use? Clean interface, responsive, intuitive, or is it a struggle? Fourth, testing capabilities. Does it let you do both manual hands-on testing and automate the repetitive stuff?
Okay, that makes sense. Both angles.
Exactly. Fifth, customer support. Is there good documentation? Can you actually get help if you're stuck? A strong community, perhaps. And finally, performance analytics. Does it give you clear test reports, detailed logs, useful debugging help, stuff that actually helps you find and fix problems fast?
That sounds incredibly thorough. So given those criteria, let's kick things off with the first tool, Selenium. Our source describes it as versatile, cost-effective, deep language support, scripting control. What really makes Selenium stand out? Why is it such a mainstay?
Selenium's real power, I think, is its flexibility for robust functional automation. A lot of tools offer convenience, but Selenium offers control. Its main parts, WebDriver and Grid, they're really effective for scaling tests without needing massive resources. And what's interesting is how enterprise SaaS companies often rely on it. Why? Because it lets them script really specific, complex user journeys that maybe an off-the-shelf tool might struggle with. It's definitely a developer-centric tool.
You mentioned advanced capabilities. Can you walk us through some core features, maybe highlight a specific complex scenario where that scripting power really shines?
Absolutely. So, Selenium WebDriver is where the advanced scripting happens. It handles complex logic things like dynamic waits, waiting for an element to appear on the page.
Right.
Or precise mouse movements using custom locators to find elements that might change. Think about testing a complex e-commerce checkout.
Okay.
Selenium can mimic a user adding items, navigating multiple pages, dealing with dynamic prices, completing the purchase, really precise control even if page elements change state. It also has Selenium IDE, which is great for beginners. It records your actions in the browser, and you can export that for WebDriver, kind of a starting point. Then there's cross-browser compatibility, Chrome, Firefox, even old Internet Explorer. And running tests in parallel with Selenium Grid is key. It cuts down execution time and helps catch browser-specific bugs early. Oh, and headless browser testing, running tests without a visible browser window. perfect for CI/CD pipelines. We saw one case where it sped up test suites by nearly 40%.
Wow, 40%. That's significant.
Huge. And finally, language flexibility. Supports Java, Python, JavaScript, the popular ones. Makes strutting efficient, especially if you use frameworks like PyTest.
So for our listener weighing their options, what are the main pros and cons of Selenium?
Okay, pros. It's robust, comprehensive testing, supports lots of programming languages, tons of customization options. Cons, well, it
Yeah.
definitely has a steeper learning curve. You need programming knowledge. So maybe not the best fit for teams without that technical expertise in-house.
And if someone wants to try it, how do they get the free version?
Simple up, just go to the official Selenium website, hit the download button. It's open source, so you can grab the tools for automated testing right away.
Great. Next up, let's dive into BrowserStack, often called the ultimate platform for real-time testing across devices. Powerful features like GPS simulation. What specific, maybe tricky real-world problem does BrowserStack solve better than others? Especially with those hard-to-replicate browser conditions.
The classic works on my machine bug, right? Everyone hates that.
Exactly.
BrowserStack really aims to eliminate that. It excels at simulating real browser conditions that are just, well, almost impossible to set up locally. We're talking subtle rendering differences between browsers, device-specific touch issues, even simulating slow network conditions, things basic emulators often miss. It's very reliable, gives you real-time access, and lets you test on multiple devices simultaneously. Saves potentially hours of manual checking.
Yeah, I can see that.
For agile teams, it's fantastic for catching those weird UI bugs early. Ensuring a consistent experience is crucial, especially for something like e-commerce. It could literally stop people from abandoning their carts.
That focus on real-world simulation is key. What are the core features that enable this?
Well, the real device cloud is a major one. You're running tests on actual physical iOS and Android devices, not just simulators. So it reflects real user experience much more accurately. You can even pick devices based on your own user analytics. Pretty smart. Then there's real-time debugging. You can debug cross-browser tests on desktop and mobile using built-in developer tools, just like you would normally. Easy inspection, live CSS editing for quick UI fixes.
Nice.
It's another huge plus. Testing on dev environments, even staging or local setups behind strict firewalls. Zero config needed, apparently. Very convenient.
That sounds incredibly useful.
It is. It supports a massive range of platforms, specific Samsung phones, Google Pixels, OnePlus, different OS versions, and it integrates with everything. Jenkins, TeamCity, Azure Pipelines, Selenium, Slack, GitHub, the list goes on. Other cool features, mobile dev tools, GPS and IP geolocation simulation, network throttling.
Okay, sounds powerful. What about the advantages and maybe limitations people should know about?
Pros. It supports Chrome headless browsing, lets you test different screen resolutions easily, and has SSO, single sign-on, which helps with team integration. Cons. The response time might not be quite as instant as a local VM, and importantly, the GPS and IP geolocation testing aren't included in the free starting plan.
Good to know. And if a listener wants to try BrowserStack out, how do they get started for free?
Just head to their official website, click Get Started Free, fill in some details. You get instant access to real devices, 30 minutes for interactive testing, and 100 minutes for automated tests. It's a solid way to see if it fits your workflow.
Excellent. All right, moving on to SauceLabs. Our source highlights this one for simplifying test execution, comprehensive coverage, powerful debugging. It definitely sounds like a strong enterprise solution. Are there situations, maybe smaller teams or simpler projects, where SauceLabs might be overkill, where its features could add complexity?
That's a fair point. SauceLabs is very comprehensive, offering consistent results across, over 260 browsers and devices. Great for enterprise scale. But yeah, for a very small team or a project needing only basic checks, it might be more than you need. Its strengths really shine in regulated industries, like healthcare tech. They often prefer it because of its strong audit trails and security compliance features things essential for them.
Right, compliance is key there.
Exactly. And its detailed reporting, the chronological history of tests, that helps identify patterns and regressions efficiently, which is vital in complex environments, but maybe less critical for a simple website.
So tell us more about those standout features that cater to that enterprise level.
Okay, first, parallel testing. Running tests simultaneously across many browsers and OS combinations. It massively speeds up testing cycles. The source mentioned one case cutting regression testing time by over 50%.
Wow, again, huge time savings.
Definitely. Then there's zero maintenance for the test environments. All the devices, VMs, browser versions, they're kept up to date automatically. Huge relief for enterprise teams where managing that manually is a major pain point.
I can
It
imagine.
provides integrated results, full video recordings, detailed logs, screenshots for every test run. Super useful for showing failures to non-technical folks or for really deep debugging. It also supports live testing and dev tools like Safari Web Inspector and Chrome DevTools on thousands of configurations. Real devices, simulators, the works.
And platform support.
Includes specific devices like Samsung Galaxy S21, iPhone 13, Google Pixel, plus Chrome and Firefox headless support. And importantly, it supports Appium and Robotium.
Ah, the mobile automation framework.
Exactly. So it extends beyond just web testing into
Yeah.
native mobile apps as well.
Got it. So summing up SauceLabs, the key benefits and any limitations.
Pros. Supports those popular mobile tools, Appium and Robotium. Allows unlimited users on its free plan, which is generous. Really enables a solid, continuous integration setup. Cons. We have seen reports that it can be slow sometimes. And a notable limitation. The free plan gives you 2,000 credits, but they expire weekly. You can't carry them over.
Use them or lose them. Okay.
Yeah.
How can listeners try SauceLabs for free?
Go to the SauceLabs official site, click Start Testing Free, register with your email. They offer a 28-day free trial, and you don't need to provide payment details up front, which is nice.
Good deal. All right, finally, let's talk Virtuoso. The source mentions a refreshing approach with natural language programming. That sounds incredibly user-friendly. How does that plain English testing actually benefit a team, especially maybe when onboarding new testers who aren't coders?
Yeah, Virtuoso's natural language programming, or NLP, is really its standout feature. It's a bit of a game changer for accessibility. It means users can literally write test steps in plain English commands. This drastically simplifies onboarding for new team members, even if they have zero coding background.
Really? Zero coding?
Pretty much. The source suggests it can cut onboarding time for non-technical folks by almost half. Imagine product managers or QA analysts contributing directly to test automation. That's a huge boost for accelerating testing. It covers multiple browsers and devices without complex setup, integrates visual regression, API testing, all in one flow. It seems ideal for teams wanting a powerful solution without spending months learning complex code frameworks.
That idea of democratizing test creation is really appealing. Tell us more about its other standout features.
So it offers true end-to-end testing. It connects functional tests, visual tests across different browsers. It can integrate with APIs for full stack coverage. You can chain actions together for complex flows like a full checkout process. Then there's its self-healing capability. This is a massive time saver.
How does that work?
It automatically adapts if UI elements change slightly on the page. If a button moves or its underlying code changes, a Virtuoso tries to figure it out and update the test locator automatically instead of the test just breaking.
So less test maintenance.
It's exactly. Less time fixing brittle tests, more time building features. It also tracks changes in real time to catch test drift early. The low-code and no-code aspect uses those plain English commands we talked about, and it does snapshot testing.
Snapshot testing.
Yeah, it compares the structure of your web page, the DOM, the document object model, against a previous version. It catches subtle visual shifts, like maybe padding changed slightly or a button slightly off, things a human might miss.
I see. Catches those minor visual regressions.
Right, before they become bigger issues. And it also supports using Gherkin syntax. That's a common way to write requirements in plain language. So you can build tests directly from requirements or wireframes even before the app is fully coded.
Fascinating. Okay, Virtuoso's main advantages. And any areas for improvement.
Pros. It lets you run tests on any device, browser, or OS at scale. Unlimited test creation and editing, which is great. And unlimited parallel testing. Cons. The main feedback seems to be that its reporting formats could be better, clearer, more detailed.
And how can listeners experience Virtuoso? Is there a free trial?
Okay, this is where the source material was a little confusing. One part mentioned a 14-day free trial,
Right.
but the more specific how to get section explicitly said there isn't currently a free trial option available directly on their platform. So the official word seems to be no direct free trial right now. However, you can still see it in action by requesting a demo. There's a schedule a demo button on their site.
Okay, so a demo is the way to go for Virtuoso. Good clarification. So we've covered 4 major tools. What does this all mean for you, the listener, whether you're prepping for a meeting, just trying to keep up with the field, or genuinely curious? How do you actually pick the right tool from these options?
Yeah, connecting it all back, it really depends on understanding that each tool fits a slightly different niche. It comes down to your team's specific situation. So, Selenium. Best if you need something cost-effective, really versatile, deep language support, lots of control. and your team has the technical chops to use it fully.
Right, the technical expertise is key there.
Definitely. BrowserStack. That's your go-to for real-time testing across a huge range of actual devices, especially if you need things like GPS simulation or really solid dev tool integration to track down tricky environment-specific bugs. SauceLabs seems like a really strong option for simplifying test execution at scale, great debugging, comprehensive coverage. Particularly good for enterprise environments where security, audit trails, and easy CI/CD integration are top priorities. And finally, Virtuoso. Ideal if you want something powerful but easy to get started with. That low-code, bro-no-code, plain English approach is perfect for teams looking to speed up testing without needing everyone to be a coding expert.
So ultimately, it sounds like it's about aligning the tool with your team's skills, the project's specific demands, and, of course, the budget to get the best results from your testing effort.
Exactly that. There's no single best tool, only the best fit for your context.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the world of free cross-browser testing tools. We've unpacked what they do, looked at how they were evaluated, and highlighted the unique strengths and things to consider for Selenium, BrowserStack, SauceLabs, and Virtuoso.
Yeah, and the core challenge isn't going away, is it? Browser diversity, new devices. Ensuring your interfaces work flawlessly for everyone, no matter their tech, it remains absolutely critical. Understanding these tools is a really big step towards delivering those consistent user experiences.
So as you think about your own development work or testing strategies, maybe here's a final thought to mull over. In this constantly changing digital world, how much of your current testing strategy is truly future-proof? Is it ready for the next wave of browser and device innovations? What really stood out to you from today's deep dive that might make you rethink how you approach web development or QA?
It's a great question. There's always more to learn, and thinking critically about your tools and processes is essential. We definitely encourage you to explore these options further and see how they might transform your own testing.